Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in a little bit more in terms of recognizing covert narcissist abuse or neglect in relationships. Now, a covert narcissist is a cluster B personality who has a pathological sense of self-importance, and they have a need to really control and dominate others in a very quietly passive way. In other words, it's kind of like the big bully that you never know is in the room. It's like the pink elephant. You quite never know what is controlling you. But you know that you are in a relationship where you are not being recognized, you're not being validated, but you have short-circuited your own needs because that is what is programmed into you or conditioned into you by this person to stick around. In other words, you know, be a good husband and do this. Be a good husband and do that. Be a good wife and do this. Be a good wife and do that. So oftentimes there's these conceptual drivers that are value-based in the relationship, kind of your unconscious beliefs of what a good wife, a good mate, a good husband, a good daughter, a good brother would do. And it's drilled into you, but the problem is when this has short-circuited your self-identity, when it's short-circuited the preservation of your own needs, your own assertiveness, your own inner voice, and saying, no, I don't think this is right. I think that we should do this, or I don't feel that I deserve this, or this is unfair. This is not based on what's right for me. And so this lack of assertiveness can very much plague those people who are in a relationship with a covert narcissist because they feel like to do so would be violating of other people's respect. In other words, I'm being disrespectful by being assertive, by speaking up, by saying this is ridiculous, this is overwhelming, this is unorganized, this is not right, this is a mess, emotionally a mess. You know, being able to see where there's so much chaos and not, you know, and being uncomfortable with that and being assertive enough to say, you know what, this is not working. We need to do something here. We need to change something. This lack of assertiveness becomes then really kind of in a shutdown manner when you're in a relationship with a covert narcissist, and you can't really see it because of this guilt, because of this sort of template that you have, and then it is fed a negative template. So realizing that there is something to this that is really like the origination start of it, where it was seeded into you, like a lesson. So it's kind of like you need to reformat, reprogram, recondition what that is, and then being assertive enough to say, okay, you know what, I deserve to be able to rest at this period of time. I deserve to be able to feel peace or focus on something that is what I want to do. In other words, you know, my ship has not left. My bus, you know, has not, you know, left the station for good. My boat is coming back. The bus is still, you know, coming to the station. I still am tuning into my dreams and desires, and I'm picking it up now. I'm getting on that bus and I'm going somewhere. I'm taking that train. This is an analogy for really kind of what's beckoning at your door and what you are excited or wanting to do or communicate or express. Perhaps, you know, you never felt like you could grow as a person or professionally because you would outgrow this person. As a spouse, you cannot out-earn this person, or you cannot have a different physique. You cannot be this strong. You cannot make this much money. All these you can't, you know, the law of the lid. You can never take your life to the next level where it's like you are wanting to, but you can't assert yourself. The covert narcissist will, in no uncertain means, make sure that you are dependent on them in some way. In other words, you can only stray in your life so far. You can only spread your wings so large. You can only become so great because of the self-limiting beliefs, their vision for you in your life, which is forward. So it's like a lens, you know. Any great company, any great product, any great movement has had at its forefront a visionary. And if you want to, you know, Google visionary and what that is, go ahead and become familiar with what a visionary is, a maverick. someone who is a leader. Not just a manager, but a leader, someone who is not afraid to pave the path, take the road untraveled, to be able to say, okay, yes, this is difficult, but my feet are going there. We'll figure out a way once we get there. In other words, it is the faith and the courage combined together, along with a higher intelligence, that's able to pursue something day in and day out and then make it happen. Like the Nike, swoosh, just do it. It's a swoosh, it's a movement. If you really analyze the feeling of the movement, or the logo, it's forward moving. It's almost like the F2D florist who's got his little, the wings on his little booties. It's very much like that, but athletically. It's like we deliver. It's like the athlete who delivers, who execute. Your forward motion, your just do it should be like that. It's the ability to take action without seeing the result right away. In other words, it's able to have your vision and move forward for it, even though you don't see the result. But it's meant to be. And the covert narcissist oftentimes does not live their life that way. They live their life on no uncertain terms. In other words, they're going to surround themselves with a supply that will make sure that their needs are met so they don't have to do too much in terms of having the belief, having the courage, stretching themselves, seeing new boundaries, going new places. They're just really more followers than they are leaders. So not that one is better than the other, but in this case, when one is being exploited or not allowed to be themselves, their authentic self, because, that is unsavory for you, or that is unbecoming, or you can't do that, or, looking at you with disbelief. It is their vision, their negative vision for you, which is driving you rather than your positive vision. Yes, you can go get cookware. You deserve to have a special saucepan. No, you don't have to make it in the wrong type of pan. You can go and get a saucepan so you can make your miraculous sauce or gravy, or your buttermilk, or whatever it is that you do so special in that pan. Your special rice cooker, which cooks better, rice than just cooking it over the other pan. It's kind of like that feeling that you've learned about on something and you want to take the next level. You want to go gluten-free, or you want to go vegan, or you want to try the paleo diet. You think that this doctor would be good for you, and they're always saying, no, we can't have that for you. It's like someone who is making the decisions for you when there would be a better decision for you. It is owning that choice and saying, I am. This is my place in the world. I own it. And I own it 100%, and I own it in balance, and I own it in boundaries, versus having, the covert narcissist being your foundation in thinking that that's how your relationship should be formatted. It's unequivocally knowing that you deserve to have that next stage in your life and doing whatever it takes to get there, and being decisive, making decisions, making choices. That's what a leader or a visionary is good at. They will make decisions. They will be decisive. They will be able to execute and do and just keep doing. Eventually, it becomes a well thought out, but then eventually becomes automatic, and they become unconsciously competent where they're just a leader. Their visions are becoming manifest. And if you watch the great movie on Netflix, The Secret, you will unequivocally see results. There's all sorts of miracles in life, and life is waiting to give you those miracles. It is just, especially that after experiencing such neglect and abuse and feeling on the sidelines, the no lines, feeling like you're, cloistered away, like a nun in a convent, or isolated away on an island where, no species that love you inhabit that. It's like, it's time to broaden your horizon, open your eyes. Go and get onto Netflix and watch some of the miraculous shows that are there, and begin to take and indulge your senses, especially your eyes, and begin to see how you can adapt this into your life and make it your own. So you're the explorer, you're the cook, you're the one who is making the National Geographic, the